Alright, we got this 56 in today, and the first thing I did for him on it is I dented it.
Big car, old and heavy, wanna ride a 56 Chevy.
So I had to inform him that I dented his car right off the bat, which is a great PR thing if you want to start off by denting your customer's car. You know, it's a great way to start. Hopefully it doesn't have any tried and true to what's going to happen next. Besides denting his car first, we're going to get this thing going again. It has been sitting for more than a number of years, maybe 6, maybe 4. What we're going to want to check is fuel. It's a big one. See what's going on in the fuel tank. We're going to check this battery. Since it's hooked up, I'm guessing it's probably gonzo, but we'll put it on the charger, see what it does. Maybe open up the carb, see how it looks in there. And what else? We got a manual. Probably my favorite part, besides it being a wagon, is bench seat and a 4-speed. I don't think there's anything cooler than a car with a bench seat and a 4-speed. Love the tack on the column. The car has that great old Chevy smell, but seems pretty solid. You know, you never know what somebody's going to bring in when they say they got something. This one's pretty solid. You know, it has maybe a number of years on its restoration and stuff, and a few little scratches and dings. Only a couple more than I put in it. Our battery was no good. I have the Chevy Master key set for an early set of cars. We'll just check if one of these works, and then we can just have a key made. Third one. Look at you. These battery cables were kind of bad. These are the new guys. I put the ground on. It's easy peasy. However, the positive's kind of down in there, and they have a heat shield on it. The Tri-5s did tend to kind of overheat starters when you had headers on them, because it was just kind of a tight fit in these frames. I've ran into the situation before, which for whatever reason, that's the way it is. I need to get through that insulation, so I might cut it and just retape it with some aluminum tape and get our old wire out of there and our new one in. Well, I got the battery cable in there. That was kind of a little bit of a job. Our battery doesn't fit. Napa Know How got us the no-go battery, so they're gonna have to bring it on back up. They're bringing it up to me. They're good people, I promise. Except for Frank. Frank's the one that got me the wrong battery. So we're under the car here. Let's see if I can point this guy. Yeah, that's our drain. And I've already drained out the old fuel. I've just put some new fuel in it. Just kind of flush it out a little bit, you know, because the gas is 6 years old or whatever it is. That's a lot cleaner looking than what I pulled out previously. I don't see a lot of chunks or rust or stuff falling out, and we might be okay on this one. Want to get this carb checked out, so we're gonna get our little guys off of here. Little hoses, little clips, little pins. Keep it level. It'll spill on you. I got Jared set up here with our kit. It's an Edelbrock kit for a Carter, but they're the same deal. Some carb cleaner, some rags, and a clean paper surface to start with. This is about the easiest carburetor to rebuild, but still get yourself prepped and ready to do it correctly. Give it the respect it deserves.
Edelbrock versus Holley is the age-old debate, which is better, which performs better, and why. I will say they both have their strengths and their weaknesses. The Edelbrock, or Carter, as they were before, is a really simple design, and most people can rebuild these or learn to rebuild them fairly easy. And they also will store fairly well because there aren't any paper gaskets below the fuel line. And most of the time, after sitting for a while, they'll just need a new accelerator pump, so you can pop the top off, accelerator pump, and spray out some ports. So Edelbrock wins for simplicity, and Holley wins for overall tuning capability. But we'll pull this one apart and get it cleaned up. If you lose these little clips, most of the rebuild kits will come with new ones. These tend to fly across the shop and go into another dimension. The accelerator pump lever right here, you can change the ratio slightly by going in or out. And so I just put a mark on where they had it set before. These top caps right here, they hold in the metering rods and their springs. When I've got the top plate off of an Edelbrock, I like to pull these out and at least get pressure off of them, because when you put the top plate back in, sometimes they don't want to settle into the jets quite right, and I've seen people bend these before. So I just pop the caps to the side and let those come up just a little bit.
While Jared's rebuilding the carb, I think I'm going to start doing fluids. Start checking all our fluids and changing all of them. I'd like to do, I'll check the coolant, change the oil. I'd like to change the oil in the transmission, even though it's a manual. Maybe pump some new brake fluid through it. We'll check that out, and change the rear diff oil. I want to kind of just do it all, just to make sure. It's always good to start off fresh, and he'll know from when it was here that everything was done. I'm draining the rear diff. That's where you fill it. You just fill it until it comes out that little port. When you get it filled up enough, it'll start running out. And that's the kind of running out that you'll see when it's full. So on our Muncie, that is the fill that I got that hose into. This little guy down here is the drain, but for some reason it's gone. The nut on there to be able to take it off there is totally gone. It's supposed to have one of these little dingleberries, and this must have snapped off clean. There is a few different ways that I could attempt to fix that, but I did notice that ear on the transmission has already been welded back on, and I just don't need that can of worms. So, like you do on some differentials and different things, I'm just using my little suction-y guy to siphon the fluid out of here, and then that's the way I'll fill it just back up right through its fill there until it pours out, just like our rear diff. We're getting about to the end of this. I'll try to move that hose around a few different ways, make sure we got it as much as we can. The fluid was pretty clean, so I'm not super concerned about getting every drop out. We're going to use our same tool here, just in reverse, to fill our trans back up here. How many of you can smell this video right now? Gear fluid. Oh, don't forget about that old fuel smell that's still lingering around here. Oh boy. So good.
All right, Kyle, what's your rating? 1 out of 10.
Oof. Red doesn't do it for me. Unfortunately, that's probably the only thing I don't like about the car. Besides that, I like as a car as itself, I mean, what you're asking out of it, I'd give it a 10. 4-speed, bench seat, healthy, 350, Ford 9-inch, I give it a 10.
Hard to go wrong with that combo.
Yes.
Big car, old and heavy. Wanna ride a 56 Chevy.